Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Effectively, we are the Office Blokes.
We are.
Yeah.
Very true factual statement. And none of us three will never host a Super Bowl.
You're wrong. We will be doing this year. We'll be hosting a Super Bowl party.
Super Bowl party, yeah. I mean actually putting on the Super Bowl.
No.
I don't think anyone's going to trust us with that just yet.
No. Super Bowl of cornflakes or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it's that big.
Cornflakes,
Massive
big.
bowl like
It's
that.
super.
Yeah.
Really is.
Look at this Super Bowl of porridge I've got.
You love it. Right.
Oh, plenty of sugar on top. I could just do with a bowl like that. Actually, I said porridge.
Porridge. No one. I mean, I do eat a fair
Who are
bit
you,
of
fucking
porridge.
Goldilocks?
A bit of ready bread.
No one has that.
About half a pound of sugar on top.
Dead dry
At least
sugar.
lovely.
Yeah.
At least do man porridge. Oh, that sounds right.
Man porridge.
I used to have ready bread with
Grown-up
sugar when I was a
adult
kid.
porridge, not the ready break. Ready break is for kids, isn't it?
It's the same stuff.
It's not.
No.
It's the
It's
same
like
stuff.
it's milled to a fine powder,
Yeah.
so it's smooth
Yeah,
and it's
powder.
full of sugar already.
Exactly. It tastes better.
And he sprinkles a fucking big spoonful of sugar on it again, do you?
Yep.
Shocking.
Food's food.
Shocking. How are you not a big fat guy? I
know.
don't understand. I put a bit of honey on mine and suddenly I'm 17 stone. Anyway, as Office Bloke Daz just alluded to, we are actually hosting a Super Bowl watch-along for the next Super Bowl. Right, we're going to go live and we're going to watch it and we're going to drink a load of beer.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to hopefully get some other people down and a bit of atmosphere, a bit of chips and dip.
Yep.
And
Pizza.
pizza and get smashed. So keep your eye out for that. Why these stadiums will never host a Super Bowl? Is it going to be logistics?
Too small, I suppose.
Weather might play a part in some of them.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
but it
like
does.
February in it time.
Yeah, I bet you're right there. They don't put it in freezing cold or anything, do they?
Well, some of them have roofs, don't they? But I saw did you see the weather a couple of weeks ago in Buffalo?
Yeah.
You don't want that,
Yeah. Did you send me that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
think
don't want
did,
that
yeah.
happening sort of like the day before.
Yeah,
You know what I
About
mean?
could
6
you
foot
imagine?
of snow,
The
wasn't
whole
it?
people travelling to the ground and all. They had to move the game to Detroit, I think it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm guessing logistics and weather are going to play a part, but I wouldn't mind betting there'll be some sort of maybe some sort of covenants when someone's built a stadium that, if someone's building a new stadium, it doesn't take away from another stadium somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some sort of businessy sort of stuff going on.
There's other things as well. Hotels in the city. I guess there's a lot that goes with that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah,
travelling in fans.
house a lot of people, haven't you, I
Yeah.
suppose, at a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
so...
I'm looking forward to in a couple of years when the Super Bowl's in Qatar.
I'm sure I could,
Saudi Arabia first.
yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
Maybe
do
not.
it. Why these stadiums will never host a Super Bowl. I'm checking the volume. There we go.
When the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers won Super Bowl LV, they became the first team ever to win the big game in their home stadium. So many factors had to come together for that to happen. But as the NFL now awards Super Bowl hosting duties to existing NFL cities, it was bound to happen. Eventually. But not for some teams. No, some NFL teams and stadiums don't have a snowball's chance in hell to host the Super Bowl. And today, we're not only going to find out where these stadiums are, but why. And that's coming up right after this. It seems like everything is a drain on your wallet these days, and as necessary.
Yeah, you certainly don't want it where it's cold, I don't
Well,
think.
yeah,
It's got to be
but-
jeans, t-shirts and shorts, hasn't it, whether?
Not really, but if you've got like these certain areas where you can get access to, but you imagine how much stuff's sort of like sent by truck. So if the roads are impassable, sort of like in certain areas that are proper snowed,
logistics and
getting
stuff.
cold,
Of course.
you tend to get that, and you could have it in cold stadiums. I'm sure. I don't know.
I'm sure you can. I think ideally
I
you'd
don't
want
even
it
know.
somewhere a bit warmer, wouldn't you, though, I
Yeah.
guess, but...
But I don't even know where it's been held in the past. Like I can only tell you
Same.
what he's just told is there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really, because every year, our FA Cup or things like it's held at Wembley.
Yeah,
for the most
same
part.
place every year,
Yeah.
isn't it, pretty
Apart
much?
from Wembley was being rebuilt and he moved it to Cardiff or
That's
whatever
right.
it was.
Yeah.
We're back.
But we get it the same all the time. But it'd be interesting to see what what the reasons are behind it.
Use my code 5points14 and get 14 free meals. Sustainable, time-saving, and delicious. HelloFresh. Before we get into the stadiums, you should know the most common criteria that the NFL uses in selecting a Super Bowl site. Keep in mind they are selected now, not bid on anymore. Space for game day experience, appropriate infrastructure, minimum hotel capacity within an hour's drive, equal practice space for both teams, and a big Achilles heel for some stadiums on this list, a minimum of 70K fixed seats. And though it's not stated explicitly, weather is a huge factor. Let's quickly recap all the active NFL stadiums that have hosted a Super Bowl and will host again.
What stadium's that?
Is that
Houston.
Is it a Mercedes sign on the roof, or is that just how it opens?
I didn't see it.
It's like a Mercedes sign by the look of it.
If it is Houston, didn't that get knocked down?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
did it get back up again?
I used to go to it regularly with used to have the OTC in Houston, and that's where it was all staged around there. But I can't. I don't know. It looks. I don't know. I think I should know.
Very bizarre
Looks
looking
like
building.
Yeah, I thought it was the
New Orleans.
Superdome, but that other stadium next to it says Superdome on it. So is that the brand new one next to it? Maybe. Don't know.
Does it say Superdome or does it say Smoothie King?
It's a Smoothie King Centre.
Does it? Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
SoFi is set to host this year, then followed by the Superdome, State Farm, Raymond James, US Bank, Mercedes-Benz, Levi Stadium, Hard Rock, and Jerry World. And though it hasn't been confirmed yet, Allegiant Stadium will totally host a Super Bowl. Next, there are stadiums that have hosted, but likely will never again. Ford Field, Lucas Field, MetLife, which was a miracle, NRG, 28-3, and TIAA Bank in Jacksonville, which was one of the biggest anomalies ever. They hosted Super Bowl 39. Out of all the stadiums that haven't hosted a Super Bowl, Bank of America stands the best chance. With a hub airport in the city, it does indeed have the infrastructure to handle the big game. And they meet the seating requirement. The only maybes are hotel space, practice facilities, and the weather, but being south of the Mason-Dixon line helps Charlotte avoid a major snowstorm, but it's not exactly Miami. Unlike their actual team this year, Carolina has a slim chance at seeing the Super Bowl in the future. The loudest stadium in the league has a shot at the bowl, but its age and the city's infrastructure working.
That's what you call the car park, like.
It's crackers, that, isn't it?
Wow. That is some space.
Yeah, we get about not even the size of just around the stadium, a little bit.
Pretty much it, is it? I wonder if that's the only way you can get to it, because public transport isn't particularly brilliant or something.
Yeah.
There'd probably be lots of private coaches and stuff you'd think for the Super Bowl.
Tailgating, might you?
Yeah, a lot of it there. Gee, the size of it there.
It's two of them.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Baseball, that one, is it? Yeah.
Against it. Another big problem could be practice space, as the Chiefs' facility is nearby, but finding another indoor space could be difficult. Additionally, the weather could hurt the game day experience, as all that stuff needs to be indoors or in nice weather. To me, a Super Bowl in Arrowhead would be cool, but maybe too risky for the NFL. Though Nissan falls short of the $70K requirement, they are at $69,143. That's certainly close enough where they could squeeze in a few more butts into the arena. Nashville has the infrastructure and hotels, ample areas for the game day experience of getting hammered in their many bars. Practice space could be an issue, but maybe something temporary could be added. Weather is also a factor, and like Charlotte, it's unlikely to snow here, but it wouldn't be balmy and sunny. Still, could be a fun place for a Super Bowl, though unlikely when there are better options. Now for our absolute no's. At first I had Lambeau as a maybe, as in the future the NFL might go crazy and award a stadium with the game on some kind of nostalgia or anniversary kick, but quite simply Green Bay doesn't have the infrastructure, the airport, or the hotels. The atrium helps for Radio Row, but that's the only indoor space to hide from the brutal February Wisconsin weather. Nobody wants to work in sub-zero temperatures when LA and Miami exist. Sorry, Lambeau, not happening. This one could have been a maybe, but as I thought it over, it's a no. The area around Gillette could handle the requirements. Hell, Robert Kraft might even build a new hotel like Indy did to please his buddy Roger. But the weather and 4K short on seats make Gillette a no matter how many strokes of luck Robert Kraft would need. Though it was a long time ago and the field has been completely replaced, anytime you bring up this moment at Heinz Field, it causes the NFL to retract in horror. Close enough on the seating chart at 68K, but again, the weather works against Pittsburgh here. Plus, the stadium area is pretty small, as Heinz Field lacks the parking of other stadiums. No Pittsburghers will be sold on Super Bowl Sunday. There's just absolutely no way the NFL risks their biggest cash cow on a stadium that is located literally right on Lake Erie during the bitter cold of the winter, where freezing winds enter the stadium and knock people over like Tim Tebow trying to block somebody. Yes, if Indy could handle the Super Bowl, maybe Cleveland could too, but the fact that this isn't a dome makes it nearly impossible. Plus, it's Cleveland.
It's a crazy location.
That's some steep sides they did as well.
It looks like parcel tankers on the side of the docks there as well, don't they?
Yeah, sat right at the top there, and if it's a cold winter as well, it's
gonna be great, I tell you what.
Yeah, but in the summer there, can you imagine all like yachts in them bays there? And
that'd be pretty.
Oh
cool.
yeah, that'd be great,
potentially
wouldn't it?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is a hub for
No.
super yachts.
It's a lake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't a dome makes it nearly impossible. Plus, it's Cleveland.
At least we're not Detroit!
Another big nope from the weather gods. It's one thing when snow is a possible factor in a cold weather city. It's another if it's virtually guaranteed. Plus, casual fans would not be prepared to handle the amount of rocks being kicked up into their rental car windshields during Super Bowl week. Sorry, Perna. No Super Bowl for you.
You're pushing your luck, little man. No Super for you!
The NFL wants the most neutral site for a game that they can, and if the Seahawks somehow made it to Super Bowl Sunday, their stadium would be a huge advantage for them. But the biggest detractor would be rain. Rain simply is not something they would want that could both affect the outcome of the game, but also the quality of the broadcast. It would also put a strain on the game day experience. Sorry, Seattle, you've been washed out.
How hard would it be to put some sort of retractable roof on that retrospectively, though?
Looks like there's one. Is that one on the left?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Don't go far over.
Looks like
That's
one.
a baseball field, isn't it, on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seattle Mariners, I'm guessing.
Right, okay.
But if the rain's the only potential issue, then
It'd be expensive still, wouldn't it, though?
but you
I
can
would
get
think, but-
past it for probably the revenue a Super Bowl would generate for your local sort of area.
Listen,
Yeah,
if
maybe.
you've got LA on the map and you've got Miami, like he's saying, places like that, where do you want to go? Seattle or LA or Miami?
They've got options, haven't they? They've got good options already, I suppose. So
I mean, look at the
It'd be
one in LA,
difficult.
that SoFi Stadium we did.
Oh, it's
yeah,
unbelievable.
it's amazing.
Mint of a stadium.
So
Yeah, incredible.
I suppose if you want any chance and you're from one of these places, you've got to build a new stadium that competes.
Not even that. You've got
It's
the
everything
whole
surrounds it,
infrastructure goes around with. That's what you're saying. The hotels
Yeah.
within an hour. I mean, and also I'm guessing Seattle has that. But you look at LA and Miami. It's the tourist attractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean?
Got the airport hub, haven't you, that we just got to think about
Airport,
as well
you
for
got-
getting people in.
But you've even got you've got multiple airports in around these areas. It's not just one. If you go an hour outside of one of the airports, you're in another airport.
Yeah.
Maybe two or three.
And it's got to be big. They've got to be big, haven't they? Because a lot of these teams could be like 1,000, 2,000 miles away from the actual venue, couldn't they? You'd have a lot of fans going there. It's a big note. Not going to be sending a load of coaches there, right? It's got to be flights.
No, it's got to be flying
It's
in.
got to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. So you need the airport hub. I wonder how many, because it works similar over here. I wonder how many people when they get to the Super Bowl. Let's say, for instance, Pittsburgh Steelers get to the Super Bowl this year. Let's say, just for argument's sake. Right, I know everyone in the comments are going to go, it's never going to happen, or whatever team you choose, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how many fans that go to the Pittsburgh games, travel into the. How many tickets do they get allocated to the Super Bowl? Because I know over here, if City get to the final of the FA Cup, for example,
Yeah.
Wembley holds 98,000 or whatever it is.
90 odd.
90,000. We get something like 25,000 seats allocated.
Yeah.
And the other team get 25,000, and the other 40,000 go to different FAs around the country, around the world.
Yeah.
Corporate
Correct.
sponsors and all that sort of stuff. So they corporate get more than the fans.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how that works. I'm sure it works
Yeah,
same
want to do
with
the
the
same
Super
type
Bowl.
of
Bet it
thing.
does. Bet it does.
Because corporate is
they
a
probably
big,
get
big
more.
earner.
Yeah, it
isn't
is
It's
big
a huge
earner,
earner.
yeah.
So
I see the Super Bowl as being this cultural event that people from all cultures around America and around the world go to
yeah.
and sort of hone in on. Whereas the FA Cup final, when your teams aren't involved in it, there's quite a lot of people that are going to
Yeah.
There's still a lot of interest from around the country, though, isn't there? From around the world for the FA Cup, things like that.
Nowhere
FA
near,
Cup.
nowhere near Super Bowl level.
Oh, no, of course not. No,
100% not.
So you'd think there may be less allocation for the Super Bowl for the teams away fans because
Maybe.
there's that many.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
What does the allocation? What would the allocation for say SoFi Stadium last year in the Super Bowl was? Who was in the Super Bowl? Was it the Rams and the? Was it the Browns?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I've got a blank.
It was one of the. Was it the Bengals? Sorry, not the Browns. Bengals. It was the Cincinnati Bengals, wasn't it?
Might have been.
So I just wonder what the allocation would be for either one of them teams.
For each team. Yeah. That'd be interesting to find out, actually.
Day experience. Sorry, Seattle. You've been washed out. Paul Brown falls well short of the capacity criteria, and the weather doesn't help. Plus, issues with choke points in the stadium, like only one access ramp to the upper deck, would make for a salty Super Bowl experience for the fans. Big fat striped no. The biggest thing working against Lincoln Financial Field is that a lot of season ticket holders get to attend the Super Bowl, and I'm not sure if Goodell wants turd eaters and battery chuckers at his moneymaker.
Turd eaters and battery chuckers.
Wow.
Philadelphia Fire.
Hey,
That's why
I knew there was a phrase out there, wasn't there? But we found it now.
Hey, how fitting is it that he's a Philadelphia Eagle fan? Hey?
It didn't go unnoticed in the comment section, put it that way.
Turd eaters and battery chuckers. Love that. Yeah.
What about battery eaters and turd chuckers?
Both.
Nobody visits Philly for tourist reasons. It would end up being the lowest attended Super Bowl ever. All semi-serious joking aside, weather is probably the biggest excluder for the link. I'm sure if push came to shove, Baltimore could host the big game, as M&T can seat 71K and the surrounding area is nice. However, there just isn't a compelling reason as to why you would bring the Super Bowl to Baltimore. Everything is just average. There's no dome, and other than crab cakes, there's really not a draw. Now we're getting into the super hard nose. Even with recent renovations, there's absolutely no way the near 50-year-old Highmark Stadium could host a Super Bowl, nor could the small town of Buffalo handle all the requirements. Even if the evil Pagulas sham the city into paying for a new stadium, there's no way the hotel requirements get met here, not to mention the brutal weather. And where is the game day experience going to be? In the wild-ass Buffalo parking lot? Though I suppose that would be pretty cool. Also, the Pagulas. This would also be another giant why, as even though it was essentially rebuilt in 2003, the new Soldier Field is aging out, and replacement plans, possibly in Arlington Park, are already underway. This stadium was never designed with a Super Bowl in mind, and its downtown proximity would be a nightmare for an event as large as the Super Bowl.
What a location, though.
I think I've been there. Is that Soldier Field, did he say?
Yeah.
I've been Soldier Field. I went to watch England. v USA.
What was that, in a friendly?
Soccer, yeah.
Where is it? I don't think
Chicago.
It's Chicago. I don't think he actually said Chicago.
I think he did when it came up.
Did he?
I think, yeah.
There's quite a few that have been near water, actually. Like lakes and rivers and stuff. But
that's right on the lake, isn't it?
Yeah, looks nice, doesn't it? It's a nice little harbour there and everything.
Stunning location.
Yeah. Chicago's a great city, man.
Is it?
Yeah, really good
That looks good.
Yeah.
Plus, have we brought up the wind yet?
As this woman clinged onto the side of a building for dear life.
And for our final, extremely hard no. Reflective of the organization that resides in this dump, the NFL would likely choose to cancel the Super Bowl or host it in London before it had one at FedEx. Yes, after 9/11, it was briefly considered that the stadium could get a Super Bowl, but after MetLife hosted one and got extremely lucky with decent weather, but a terrible game, all that talk got squelched. Parking here is a nightmare. Access to this place is a nightmare. Traffic is a nightmare. Maybe the game day experience is over at the Landover Mall? Maybe both teams practice in the parking lot? Sorry, the only Super Bowl the Washington football team will see anytime soon is highlights from 1993. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget.
Funny.
Yeah, it's
What
good.
channel's that, Dave?
It is
Get to hit
5 points.
5 points vids. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's good. I like his style. Good delivery. Good bit of humour.
Dry humour, yeah.
Yeah, really
just
good
taking
humour.
a piss.
Decent level of sarcasm there, wasn't there?
Yeah, but
Just
there was one
straight,
at the start of the video. There was one stadium they shown, and I want to say it was called something like the Allianz Arena.
Yeah.
It's like a black. I don't know. It looked like a brand new one.
Yeah.
Don't know where that is, but that looks mint.
That looked nice, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. It looked completely different than all the others.
But it didn't
Really
look like it. He said he may get one in the future. I wonder if it's being built.
Unless it's under construction, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
I wonder.
Let us know where that is.
Yeah.
Other than to the local economy as a whole, I wonder how profitable the Super Bowl is for a stadium.
Oh, imagine
Because
it brings in loads.
It's got to be big, hasn't it? It's got to be huge.
But I'm presuming on game day they're probably at capacity most of the time anyway.
The areas. Yeah, but I know a lot of people that go. So where not necessarily to the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people that go to. I'm sure it happens at the Super Bowl. Go to certain games even without a ticket just to be in that area.
Well, really?
Yeah. But
Wow.
it happens
Really?
a lot. Yeah, it happens a hell of a lot.
But I'm just thinking why someone would build a new stadium that isn't at capacity for a Super Bowl.
For them reasons, weather might be shit.
Because of everything else. If the weather's shit, if the airport's not up to scratch, there's not enough hotels, and they're not going to go out and build the hotels and everything else with it.
I don't know what Buffalo Stadium holds. Didn't look that big compared to some of the others.
Yeah.
But let's say, for instance, Buffalo's only a small city.
Yeah.
If they're only attracting, say, 58,000 fans, and you build a 100-seat stadium, half-empty stadium.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that. But
true.
if the threshold was 70,000 and some people are building 60,000 seaters, you'd think that this, like the forward thinking of, the Super Bowl could be here if there's a cover, if infrastructure is improved
It's a
over
big
years.
gamble, though,
It's a
isn't
big
it?
gamble for once in what?
Yeah.
But it's kind of
What's
that.
that, 20, 30, 40, 50 years it could be, couldn't it?
It's kind of the buy one, buy right mantra, though, isn't it? Because you're building something that won't do, and it's at its peak already.
Some people
Or
might not
do you
want it.
go a little bit further?
It depends with the ownership of a lot of these NFL teams as well. They might not be making enough money to invest
stadium,
that amount of money in a new stadium. The owners might think, well, we just haven't got the clout for it.
And you might not get it for the next 25 years. And then by which team you might need a new stadium.
Yeah.
They probably think it's more better to spend the money on wages and things like that, and training facilities maybe.
Yeah, when you see things like the SoFi Stadium, I think it's a shared stadium, that isn't it, between two teams.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
So when you've got obviously the capacity is going to be there every single week. Someone's going there every week, and you've got the surrounding areas where it's I think it's in Inglewood or somewhere. Someone said.
Yeah, we
Places like which is a
watched that.
bit down, sort of like.
It was Inglewood, wasn't it?
Somewhere like that, where it's not one of the richest areas in California. But then you go sort of like what it brings to the area, people working there, it just generates loads.
For local businesses, it must be absolutely amazing if the two teams and the sharing is like, say, it's weekly.
And I'm not sure who owns it. Number one, SoFi Stadium. But the other
we
side,
watched that video on it, didn't we? And it was
ages
paid for with public money, but for a private
right
owner, wasn't it? Because
Can't
there
remember.
was people kicking off about the fact that they said we'll just move the team and the whole concept to another city, and then the LA sort of government or whatever had to put in the majority of the cash, I think.
But what you've got there as well, though, I mean, what it brings to the city, I think they're even going to host, like, when you've got a stadium like that and you're bidding on any kind of sporting event that's major, when they're bidding on the World Cup, a super stadium like that goes straight into the pot and say, well, look what we've got, it's a showcase.
Yeah,
of course,
I'm not sure if that's where the World Cup final is going to be held in 2026. Probably is.
Yeah. You'd think so.
I would guess so, yeah.
Unless there's something else being built that we don't know of, like that one we just seen there.
It'd have to be good.
It'd have to be very,
To
very
beat the
good.
SoFi Stadium.
The ones that are
Wow.
getting built now, Spurs Stadium's really good.
Yeah.
SoFi Stadium's really good. I'm sure there's other ones in the pipeline. And when you're building these super stadiums now, they're done to perfection, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah,
And it's done to cater for the corporate.
But they know beforehand that they'll have a chance of getting a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So they'll
And something
think,
else as well. There'll be other
and
things.
World
not just
Cups.
Super Bowl.
They'll think well in advance, won't they? If everything.
There'll be concerts there, won't there?
Oh,
Of course, will. Absolutely, that as well. Yeah.
There's no reason, even like, it comes to certain things, boxing events. There's no reason if you've got a boxing event in stadiums, like, why can't you have an ice hockey event in a stadium like
Precisely,
that?
yeah.
So if ice hockey comes and it's two mega teams like that, and you put the NHL final there, whatever it may be, it's things like that come in. College finals, got these super stadiums.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Are college games always played at their college stadiums though? Or
Don't
are
know,
they,
but I was thinking that before with college stadiums, because I was thinking, wonder why college stadiums are not taken into
I was wondering that
consideration.
as well, but I'm wondering maybe the corporate facilities aren't there quite as much for the college side of it.
But they are.
You think
But
so?
it's licensing, NFL licensing,
Yeah.
something to do with the stadiums are paying the NFL.
Yeah. Right.
To host
yeah.
it.
Yeah, but they weren't mentioned at all there, were these possibilities or
Yeah.
anything, so...
I mean, it might be cynical, but I imagine it's how much money crosses hands as well to who gets what.
Yeah.
They're not bidding on them, but I wonder what sort of what goes into the NFL pot.
Yeah, you think if it went to like a college stadium, it'd put a few noses out of joint, you'd guess, wouldn't you? In the NFL.
It's what to do with the rugby over here, isn't it? If you don't have it at Twickenham, and they won't have any football at Twickenham, and they won't have any rugby at rugby union at Wembley.
Yeah,
purely based on the fact they've got Twickenham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wonder if there's any college teams that share a stadium with an NFL team.
Good point.
Maybe.
Maybe a smaller place. And they've got bit of amazing facilities.
Yeah, someone might let us know on that.
Yeah, let us know.
Anyway, it's good, interesting, wasn't it?
Really good, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget, like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.